working with non-OP members than working with OP members.
But
It's worth
one
a
of the
shot.
hard
Might
on
as
Hell
well
Knight
just make it
is-
like volunteer or something. Ask people they would volunteer to do.
Where we
Help you
spread out on
specifically.
opposite teams and just like make a point of being squad leads on different squads instead of squadding up together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of us, so some of us are going to be in squads with each other, but
We don't need everyone to do it. Just a few of us just.
Yeah,
lead
like,
a
let's say
squad
we
lead
have
for the
maybe-
puppies.
maybe 30 guys on for Hell Knight, right? Maybe we make 16 squads. You know, most guys have the squad lead, and then one other guy with them, kind of show everybody what it's supposed to be like. Have a guy there helping you out.
I actually did receive a complaint one night. Someone wanted tank crew, but OP locked all the tank squads, so they couldn't tank crew.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that, and I was like, I don't know how to say or what to say about that. So I just,
If it's 2 to 3 people,
Were they single tankers?
there was one group of 2, and then there was 2 3s.
if what I've
And
done
that's
before,
okay.
yeah, what I've done before is obviously since we all know each other, is in command line be like, "Hey, can you let this person into your tank? I know them," or whatever, And usually they'll be like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, you
Okay,
can
okay.
talk through Discord and do that. But if it's 2 people in the tank, it's okay. It's one person is an issue. Another thing you do, you can just tell them to request to join the squad if they're nervous about joining squads that are locked.
Okay.
And there's multiple ways.
Yeah, most of us don't lock because we don't want anybody in there. It's just to like ensure
Like,
that whoever's going to
and
hop in is going to
practice.
talk and stuff.
Remember to hit that mic preferred button.
Good idea. All right, yeah. Any other ideas with that? I like that idea of maybe not everyone squad leading, but I would like to try this out at least once and see, how it goes.
I think that's a great idea.
My big concern on Hell Knight is that there's way less non-OP players on Hell Knight.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, if there's 40 of us on, it would make it more difficult.
could-
Maybe.
I was
Do it
also
on a
going to
weekend
say on
even,
those
when there's-
nights. Go ahead, Darko.
I don't know. I
All
was just
nights
saying,
a
you can just
draw
do that.
now. A lot of people
People
come in
playing.
from different groups to play us.
That's what I was going to say. Is there's
It
usually
is
a
what
lot
it
of
is. Maybe we'll get a few good
competitors.
guys out of it.
Zircon?
Yeah, like weekends when a lot of people are playing, or just like pick a random time. It's like a Wednesday, Thursday night or something, and be like, "Hey, if you're hopping in, can you guys squad lead today?" Just say something like that. Like, it
Yeah,
could
maybe-
be it could be organized, or we could also just kind of
Squad
do
lead
it in the moment.
Saturday.
We could also just maybe plan the day out beforehand and put it up as a posting, like it's an announcement, like an event. We're going to do a
Yeah.
recruit night.
I'm going to be
and
annoying
Maybe-
and say everyone should be
can
squad
sign up
leading
to that wants
all
to
the time.
help to recruit.
Yeah. I mean, I
That's
definitely
awesome,
don't
yeah.
disagree with that. Do you? I would love to take a break of squad leading every once in a while. But yeah, good point. I think maybe the first one we'll try it out where we'll make a sign up of dedicated. Hey, this Tuesday night, everyone try to hop in squad lead, try recruitment night. We'll see how it goes and maybe adjust from there.
Yeah, just explain what you want and then let people choose if they want to be a squad lead, if they want to do it, and then the time frame.
Gotcha.
And start small, but it's worth a shot, that's for sure.
All right. All right. Next talking point on the agenda. We
Hold
are
on real
going.
quick about
Yeah, yeah.
recruitment.
Yep.
So Freak put out a thing about a new NA team, and they
Mhm.
seem to basically just do their recruiting on Facebook. Do we
Mhm.
do anything like that?
Facebook.
Yeah, Freak Fighter, Darkon, I know, are both active on the Facebook. I think Darkon, did you not, or maybe Freak? Somebody got somebody in off of the Facebook last week.
Yeah, Freak did last week. I talked to somebody this week who apparently is a part of Easy in an admin team who was talking about like wanting a new group. I was like, hey, you should check us out.
Yeah, we're the
Nice.
best. We're the coolest.
Awesome.
So-
Yeah.
So
good
he's
point,
like,
William.
I'll probably stick around for a little while, but I'll come check you guys out. I was like, all right, cool.
Sweet. All right, yeah. We're gonna move on because we have two big things to talk about after. So scrimmages. I'm still trying to get more scrims scheduled with different groups. People are saying, "Oh, sorry, we have something scheduled this week," and then I check and they have nothing. Or, "Oh man, yeah, we're busy." Yeah, I feel like people either have their schedules planned out or just dodging us / giving us excuses, which sucks. I'm still trying to reach out to different teams. I'm gonna reach out to maybe 501st or one or two of the teams that got eliminated early or went 0-3 in the seasonal. Just keep trying to get us opportunities to grow. The internal scrims that we do at the spree, we're going to continue those every other week. I think it's been a good balance. That's the feedback that I've gotten from everyone is they really enjoy them. They also enjoy these Wednesday practices that we do. If anyone has any feedback about that, we can talk about that later. I want to get through the rest of this stuff. Any of you guys have any ideas on who to contact? Again, send me a message, let me know. Everyone that you guys have suggested I've reached out to or am looking for a point of contact to figure it out. One thing that's important to address and something that is frustrating in terms of rostering for these, and it's something that the leads have discussed, is it's one thing if you sign up for a scrim and 2-3 days before it you say, hey, I can't make it, X, Y, or Z came up. It's another thing when you say yes, you let them know, hey, I'm still able to make it, and then you just don't show up, don't respond, don't give any sort of feedback, because that just screws over the team. So if that happens with you, just know you're probably not gonna, get rostered for a little bit, or we're gonna talk to you about it, give you a warning, and then if it happens again, you're not gonna be rostered for a little bit. It's like I said, it's one thing. We're all adults, right? We know if something comes up, hey, strikeout, I can't make it, X, Y, and Z came up. I really don't care what it is that comes up. That's your business. The thing that fucks over the team and us is if you don't tell us that you're not going to make it for whatever reason. Your business is your own, but you're also making a commitment by signing up and saying that you'll be there and then not showing up. So let's make sure that doesn't happen anymore. All right. Let's talk about the inevitable that's going to happen. And I want to open it up to you guys as well to discuss this. I think it's pretty clear, the writing's on the wall, and we've talked about this for a while now, about the alliance with the spree coming to a natural end. I know when DU and I talked to General T maybe 2-ish weeks ago, 3 weeks ago at this point, Esprit are having similar conversations about the alliance ending and how we're both kind of just outgrowing each other as a team. Before I open it up to everyone and what your thoughts are, I want to make it clear that we still want to maintain good relationships with them after the alliance breaks apart. We don't really want drama. We don't want to get a reputation like, Goff does, for example. So make sure, whatever happens, when it happens, keep good relationships with everyone, because frankly, there have been some people on their team that have expressed discontent with how things are going over there. So the better we treat them, the more likely those people are to join us if they do end up leaving Esprit after we split. Anyone have any trepidations about this? Any questions on what that would look like for us as a team? Concerns, etc.?
Well, I'm curious about the alliance ending. Are we gonna, like, right now we plan stuff together with them and work together with them because we field a combined team. When we do split, are we no longer gonna be like doing stuff with them like that at all? Are we gonna continue our weekly scrimmages and stuff? Like,
I have when we talked to General T, we talked to them about, wanting to continue to do stuff like that with them. In terms of having to schedule things strictly around them, obviously we lose that constraint. We no longer are beholden to only hold on one second. Only doing things with them, only being able to scrim with them. But I would still love to do, internal stuff. Well, not internal anymore, but, scrims, weekly stuff with them, bi-weekly, whatever it is. I would still like to keep a good relationship with them. And that's, kind of goes back to this point. The better the break is, the more clean, concise, and friendly it is, the easier it will be to, hey, they are short 4 or 5 players for a scrim. We're short 2 players for a scrim. Hey, we can reach out. I don't see that being an issue, but it's better to have that option than burn a bridge completely and weaken ourselves in the process.
I think a lot of the, I'll say frustrations and stuff. I think all, if not most of that, or all of it, will go away once the stress of slotting slots and all of that stuff is gone. Because they're all pretty good people. It's just frustrating to deal with.
And John and I spoke yesterday or the day before, and we're both seeing this as a very positive team or a positive thing for us both outgrowing each other, because one of the goals when him and I got together to talk about this alliance from the get-go was to grow both the teams to where eventually we can stand on our own. And I think that we have accomplished that on both ends, honestly. So there's a lot of positives for this happening. The negatives, definitely, like Darkon said, it's rostering is the biggest headache. And when you share a roster with 2 teams that can essentially stand on their own, there's going to be head bashing going on. It's just natural. But the frustrations will pretty much cease as soon as we're on our own, and it will no longer be a distraction.
Yeah, I agree with obviously both of you guys what you just said. I think frankly, when we're just in a voice channel or when we're just playing Hell Let Loose with any of them that just kind of filter into our Discord, I feel like there's no malice at all, and most of the frustrations have just been roster stuff. I don't think it's been, hey, so and so has been a fucking asshole to so and so. It's more just yeah, tension's kind of run high because X person should be slotted but hasn't been slotted in a while. That kind of thing. I know that when it was discussed maybe a week or 2 ago, somebody said that this seemed like it was coming out of the blue. That's kind of why I wanted to address this personally. I feel like we've been very kind of clear, especially in our roadmap all the way in January, with doing OP BHB scrims and focusing on, our team. But if anyone has any questions or anything that they don't want to necessarily say and want to talk about, privately, please let me know, and I'd be more than happy to talk to you, answer any questions you have. With that being said, one of the first things that we have scheduled post split with the Spree is going to happen, I believe, in mid to late June, and we have signed up for an offensive tournament. I'm not sure how it's gonna go. But one CDO has put together a seasonal-esque tournament of all offensive maps. I know the BHB boys will be happy if we can play Omaha offensive, but we'll see what's going to happen with that. I'm really excited to try it out, get our team some good experience. I feel like that'll be a good opportunity for our team and a good opportunity for us to kind of see what life is like without a Spree. And that is, let me write this down. It's going to start sometime in June. June. All matches will be 50v50 or 49v49. Offensive
That's going to
Games.
either be really, really fun or a complete
Yeah.
shit show.
or a complete shit show, which
It could be both.
it could be
Yeah.
both. Yeah.
Could be both.
It's gonna be both, probably.
Yeah.
It's an unexplored game type, honestly, and competitive. No one's really touched it, but we're about to.
Yeah.
I think aren't we doing HPL too? And obviously
yeah.
seasonal.
Yep. And second thing that we're gonna try to sign up for, I still need to figure out how, is the Hell Let Loose Premier League. This is if anyone has ever watched soccer, it has similar scoring to soccer. Anyone that doesn't know soccer, it is going to be a season followed by playoffs. During the season, we get 3 points. 3 points for a win. 3 points for a win. 1 point for a draw. And no points for a loss. So it really benefits and really rewards teams that beat their opponent. We will obviously be in the North America section. I believe, wasn't it 501st Bastardos that won the HLL Premier League last season for North America?
I think they did. Yeah. I know they were top
Yeah,
three.
I think
at
they
least.
beat TL in
Yeah.
the North American semifinal or something.
Starting in August 20th. I need to figure out how to sign us up for that. I will.
One of the other
Get
big
us on that
things, I
ASAP.
don't know if I heard you say it, is you have to play each team like 3 times as
Yep.
part of like your division. So
Yeah.
you can't avoid the hard competition, and you're gonna have a lot of time to practice.
Yeah, and
Learn your opponent.
one thing too, thank you for reminding me, DU, with the format, your interdivision teams, like DU said, you play 3 times, and then you play everyone not in your division, I believe, 1 time. So we are guaranteed to play core. In this, we're guaranteed to play, WTH if they sign up. I don't think they'll be in our same division, but like DU said, we're going to have good competition. TL, I know, is going to be in this. I know 501st Bastardos is going to be in this. We're going to get good competition. This is going to be a great practice with, conjunction with the offensive tournament to really get us ready and geared up for the next seasonal. And that is, let's see, August is what, 3 months away? So 3 months from now, we'll be a much stronger team, and I'm really confident in our prospects for this.
Gonna get sweaty, boys.
There's a lot of matches, so that's obviously a good thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
What time does the spring? Is there a summer seasonal?
I'm not sure what's going
So,
to happen. with
I
the
don't know
seasonal.
about that either because
Yeah.
originally they wanted to
They-
do one every season.
They usually take summer off.
Yeah, because
They use the 3 other seasons and take summer off because it's summer.
I gotta go touch grass.
that and Heidecker and HPL don't want to compete together against each other.
Gotcha.
Like in
Yeah, makes
summertime.
sense.
I mean, it's a small community, even though it's a big community,
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. All right. Now we're going to get to the real meat of this meeting. And something that.
Hold on,
Yeah.
one more thing on seasonal.
Yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head, but since we will be going in as officially, I guess, as our own
as a
team-
new team,
Yeah.
we'll have to go through the qualifiers, which is good.
Yeah, which is good. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad. It's a chance for us to, prove ourselves as us, solo, and rise through the ranks. And I don't know if Esprit is going to maintain or have to do the same thing. I think that they're pretty much. I don't know how they're going to do it. Honestly, Strikeout. Do you?
Honestly, I don't care at that
I don't
point.
either. Yeah, I mean, it
Like,
doesn't really
if,
matter.
if they make it to the main stage, we'll kick their ass when we get there.
So don't take
Hell
that
yeah.
as the bad thing. If they get to maintain top 3, it doesn't matter. It's
That just gets us
we'll take
more
it,
experience. Yep.
We'll take
Yeah,
it and surpass
great
it.
point. Agreed. All right. Now on to the real meat and potatoes on this match, or on this match.
Good match,
you already
guys.
got me. You already got me thinking about this next seasonal. real meat and potatoes of this meeting. Roncon, I'm not sure if oh yeah, he's here. He sent me a really good proposal on something that I have talked about in the past. I believe I've talked to Roncon about it. And it just really fleshes out our squad situation in a really good way. It's very detailed. I'm not gonna show all of it. We're just gonna do the TLDR, and I want to open up the discussion. First of all, I think that squads are something we need to be doing a better job with. I think that I see certain squads play together, but I don't see others play together, and it's something that I think if we want to actually fully buy into the squad system, we need to address that. We can't just have, the Blackjacks, for example, be the only squad that plays together consistently, or BHB. I know BHB is not a squad, but if you look at BHB, they're consistently playing together and they know each other's game inside and out. Me and Cedars and Keebs and Dupree and Glaurung, etc., we all play together so often that if they're next to me, I know what's going to happen. That's something I think we need to get better at, and it's something that Roncon's proposal, I think, does very well. Now, I'm going to post these notes. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to open it up to discussion, and I'm going to let you guys ruminate on it and let it marinate in your brains and really think about it and think about what we can do. So, first of all, what the proposal would be. The too long didn't read of this is basically, like I said, the squads need to be doing a better job. And we need to start delegating some responsibility to these squads so that there is a benefit of actually being in one and being active. So what we would do is we would reformat all current squads. Now, to do that, we would reset the current squads. Now, if the squads get reset and you guys follow this new format and you guys end up getting back in together, that's fine. But I think it's something that needs to be done in order to actually adopt this new idea. So what it would be is there would be two types of squads. There would be an infantry squad and specialist squads. Infantry squads would have 4 squad leads. Now, squad lead not being the role in the actual game, but being more of an administrative role. Meaning you are the ones that are organizing the members, recruiting members, making sure the people in your squads are signing up, right? So if, for example, Dupree is the Blackjacks, one of the Blackjack squad leads, he's saying, hey, Keeb, Strikeout, we have an event coming up. You need to sign this up. It'd be kind of embarrassing if Keebs and I didn't know we had a scrim coming up, but, and then also schedule weekly playtimes and training sessions. One thing that I'd like to mandate is every squad must play at least once a week. This can be just one single match together on Hell Night, and it doesn't have to be every single person in the squad. But if we're going to have these squads at least once a week, I think it's reasonable to have, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys on the squad playing together. Infantry squads would consist of a maximum of 14 members. Specialist squads would be armor, recon rangers, etc. For example, let's just say the cavalry reformats and they become, 4 or 5 tankers. And Noct, who's one of the members of the squad lead, or one of the members of the cavalry, is a squad lead. She would say, hey, this Tuesday, I'm going to get on and we're going to do X, Y, and Z and tank together, right? And when I'm making the roster, instead of me just putting together the roster of people I think would do well, I want to give, the people on our team more autonomy on who's slotted. So I would go to Noct and I would say, hey Noct, out of the cavalry, who are the people that are active right now? Who are the people that have been actually playing hell let loose and doing well, right? That way it's not just myself, Madcap, DU, whoever it is making the roster, just saying, hey, these are the guys that are playing. And player X is like, why is player Y getting slotted over me? And why, hold on, Roncon just sent me a message over yet in a second. And why is this person who's playing less than me getting slotted? Gotcha. So Roncon said each squad would have 2 squad leaders, a squad lead and an NCO. So, you know, if it was the Blackjacks, let's just say it's Dupree and Soto Voce. Dupree is the squad lead and Soto Voce is the second in command, where if Dupree is out on vacation to Maui for 20 days, Soto Voce could step up and say things. So in order to do that, in order to enact that, like I said, I want to do some sort of squad reset to actually make sure that everyone is in a squad and is, you know, active. Now, the extra benefit of this is recruitment. Roncon's proposal, I think, is really good. Instead of it being on all of us to go out there and recruit every single, you know, player, like if it's just me recruiting, for example, our team's not going to grow. If you have a match where you're getting on with your squad and you leave the last slot or 2 open, guess what? Now one of those players is playing with you guys mesh, you guys do it 1 or 2 more times, boom, now Roncon or whoever's the squad lead says, hey, I really like, you know, X, Y, and Z. I want to get him on the comp team. So we would still do the seconds of the comp recruiting, but now as soon as you get into the team, you have a group of people to play with. So yeah, like I said, I really want to know what your guys' opinion on this is, and I really want to know things that you think can work, not work, with that. So I'm going to open up the floor to all of you guys now.
I have a question. If recruits just join through like, hey, I want to join, will they get put into any squads so they have like designated people to play with to get to know, or just throw them at everyone?
That's what this is saying, is that, hey, you know, let's just say, for example, Roncon, I'm just going to keep using him because it's his proposal, right? Roncon's the squad lead of a squad, and he plays with you, he likes you, right? Now when you're going through your recruitment process, Roncon's squad, whoever is in there, is actively trying to work with you and teach you the game. One thing I want to do when these squads reset, and one thing that it's being formed, is this right here. The goal is to create a standardized process to which all competitive members belong. In this pursuit, players should be paired by personality, availability, role preference, and competitive experience. So it's not like I'm going to be like, hey, me, Keebs, Madcap, DU, Cheese, and Roncon are all going to be in a squad. It's like, oh, so you're going to put all of the comp leads in one squad? That's not really smart, right? We want to make sure that it's equitable and each squad has a good number of both veterans and people that are learning the game, and then, you know, fresh recruits. I mean, if there's no objections to this, then we can get this started more, you know, or more quickly. But I really don't want to make an executive decision, right, and say, hey, OGs are gone, Sunny G's are gone, Blackjacks are gone, Rainmakers are gone. I really want to, you know, figure out a way that we can make this work, especially with, you know, Sunny G's, for example, are growing pretty organically. I know the Rainmakers just added another person the other day. I don't want things to come crashing down I want it to be seamless.
So I guess let's address, or can we address what it is that we're running into now with the current squads the way they are?
Yeah,
And why?
absolutely. Yeah. I think a good example right now is Cavalry. I love every player on the Cavalry, but it's kind of a mixture between infantry players, a mixture of tankers, a mixture of recon players. I'm not sure how practical it is, for example, for the Cavalry to be expected to play together once a week. If Noct is in a tank, Dr. J, Chris, are playing recon, Reavers squad leading. Like, I'm not sure how that makes that squad, for example, better. Or if, Glarung, you're in a tank, I'm squad leading, Keebs is playing recon, like, I wouldn't constitute that as playing together, for example. Yeah, like I said, the point of the squads are to get cohesion and increase, everyone's activity. I know for a fact that there are times where I want nothing to do with Hell Let Loose, but I see Dupree getting on, and I see Keebs on, and I see Soto Voce on, or you on Glarung, and I'm like, well, fuck, my boys are on. Now I gotta get on.
Yeah, it's bad news when you see 4 or 5 of your guys on and you're not on. It makes you want to get on for sure.
100%.
I think it also, as someone who's not in a squad, I think, I never really, I knew what the squads were, but I never really knew how to, sort that out or what the recruitment process for that was. I guess this new thing would kind of make it a little easier. For someone who isn't in a squad.
I definitely think one thing that fell through the cracks with the squad stuff is that there was a Google Doc that was eventually set up during the conception of squads, trying to figure out exactly what roles you liked, what your availability was, and they would try to, people who were
I lost that
in charge of
That's
squads or
on
whatever
me.
were supposed to reach out to you in regards to that, and that ended up just never happening.
Yeah, that's 100% on me. That fucking Google Doc went to the ether. I've checked my Google Drive at least 5 or 6 times and have still not found it. Galbers, what were you gonna say? I heard you start to talk.
I was just saying, as someone who is slotted into one of these, I also have no idea how the recruitment or any of it works. I just was told to copy and paste the Sun into my name, and I did that, and I like it. So I don't know, like just from 2 perspectives, we're both pretty new. It would be a nice reset because then I'd actually kind of have a better idea what's going on.
Yeah.
One thing, like I said, and I know Keebs mentioned this the other day. He said that his ultimate goal, or he thinks that it would be a good idea to mandate people being in a squad, and I really feel like that is a good way to, and I don't really like forcing anybody to do anything, but I really feel like these squads are going to be a way to increase everybody's cohesion, especially with the recruitment, right? Like Dietrich and Mad Happy are 2 of our most recent recruits. They've been very active. I mean, have we been doing a good job of including you in different squads, guys? Honestly,
honestly, I don't know what the squads are. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And not necessarily squads, but like, are you able to play with OP guys a lot, or are there times where you have difficulty joining the squads?
I've been playing a lot of OP members now here and there and everything like that, so I feel pretty included into that. Yeah,
that's good.
I play weird hours, so I don't see as many as Dietrich does, but I see a few of you.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna post this. Like I said, I'm gonna let everyone mull it over, but it's something that I would like to have done within the next week and a half to make that decision, preferably by the 9th.
Maybe keep the squads that exist, but put more visibility on 1, that they exist, and 2, that anyone is welcome to request to play with the squad, and also the squad can grab anyone. I mean, if you put in a new recruit and the Sunny Boys want them, the Sunny Boys can say, hey, we want to play with so-and-so.
I think for some people that might be a more palatable way to do it. But I would say if this is a structure that the comp leads feel like is important, to maybe like put a sort of, not like a deadline, but kind of a deadline. Like, hey, this is something we need to work on as a team, and we'll give you guys time to iron it out.
There's
maybe
also
Revisit,
Darkon, go ahead.
maybe revisit if we need to, if it doesn't work the way that you're hoping it does.
I also don't see why this can't also be somehow incorporated into the current squad structures as well. That there's, maybe designated, like Sunny Boys have 2 dedicated, leaders of the Sunny Boys or whatever, just no powered position, but just kind of like, hey, this new recruit came in, we kind of like this person, but then, we could put it into, so the Rainmakers or Sunny Boys or the Cavalry or whatever new squad joins, Squad A, Squad B, whatever, they have a say in, like, well, we like them too, and then, something could be hashed out that way. I mean, it's something to where it's just, I don't necessarily think there's a reason to blow it up and to reorganize, but there is merit into this new idea, and it's something worth thinking about how it could be incorporated into the current structure.
And I feel like decentralizing the two concepts of, these are a squad and they play infantry together. This is specifically what they do, versus a group of people who have a tendency to play together so they can learn each other's styles. Like I for example, I try to play it all. And like, I know there are a few other people who like to do that. So like having the two concepts divorced from each other, as in like, okay, the Blackjacks are only infantry and they generally tend to be the people who run forward, as opposed to, we are a group of people who know each other's styles. So we can be equally as efficient in a tank, or if we're on artillery, whatever we get assigned to, it just means that in that case, like, the Rainmakers are going to be in one particular spot together.
Yeah, it just means you know how to work together more efficiently no matter what.
Exactly. Yeah.
If I can just jump in, excuse me, just to provide some quick context. So in my proposal, I proposed, and I also stated that the squad reforming was ultimately optional, but the idea is to put people into certain squads, yes, by availability, skill, etc. But the idea is ultimately to kind of build up kind of a format for squads focused for like CT1, 2, and 3 for assault, recon, armor, etc. One of the alternative ideas that I put forward is instead kind of generalizing infantry with specialists. So infantry, for example, they could get something that would be akin to like getting like a specialist badge. So even though you're in CT1 as infantry, you play a lot of recon, you're very experienced in it. If you need to get a fill in for recon, he has that badge. And there was the idea that I had of maybe implementing this on Red Clay's website, where you can kind of see what a person's been specialized as, whether it's armor or right, exactly. So
I love that.
Ideally, we would have squads that would be composed of like-minded people who would play together, and moving people around in squads, in my opinion, I think is fine. I don't think we should force people into staying in a squad only. But again, the idea of having 2 kind of leaders in each squad is to handle all the administrative stuff. And so that way it's less hassle for the team leads having to coordinate between all these new squads, when the people who are playing constantly each week know each other's schedules, they know more about each other, and so it's a bit more of a seamless process.
Yeah, I really like the idea of specialists within subdivisions. So then that way we're not categorized as, you're this, so therefore you will always be, defense main kind of thing. Yeah.
I want to bring up, like, there's 2 issues here as well. One, we're talking about keeping the server seated and equal teams on both sides, and at the other side, we're talking about squads being able to play together and team up together and work together on one side. So there's sort of a counterproductive thing going on here, right?
Well, it's also why each squad is, I think it's 14 people. So following our CT competitive format of 7 per squad, the idea is to have double the amount, which is again why there's 4 squad leads and not just 2. And so that way we have double the amount. Those two teams can play against each other or they can play with each other. So they have that option. And ultimately, if we had enough people, we could have internal scrims where we would just have the same squads fighting against each other, either in the same role or if they have multi-class people in their squad and they can play in other roles. So it's kind of setting it up so that there is that balance if they can play against each other.
Yeah, that would be the ideal scenario, would be for two equally matched squads to be on opposite teams playing with each other and, against other OP members. What is it you always say? Steel sharpens steel?
Yeah, I think Glaurung has opinions on that. I don't think it actually does. Does it, Glaurung?
Yeah, you can use steel. It's just not iron.
Yeah.
So my question, and I guess this is for Strika or Madcap or whoever will be compiling rosters when ESPT is no longer in the picture, and that is the intention. I guess it's a couple questions, but it's all the same concept, and that is these squads. I know Roncon said that the intention or part of the intention is to have these squads. Essentially, you would just copy and paste them into a roster for CT1, CT2, etc.
It would be more of me asking if you were a squad lead Smokes, if you were, the Smoke squad, I would say, all right, we're planning on filling you guys in combined team 1. Who is active in your squad currently that we can use to fill? Not necessarily, hey, Blackjacks are going to be combined team 1, this is going to be combined team 2. Like, I want you guys to actually have input on who's being slotted, not just, oh, we're just going to stick this person in here, even though they haven't played in a week and a half.
Okay, yeah, that was roughly my question. What is the feasibility from the people compiling the roster to be relying on this system? But that basically answers that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I know for the Sunny Boys, I was kind of in the same thing. I just got a message and said, Hamon told us all to put the sun in our name, and that's the extent of our squad. There's really nothing beyond that that's happened. We try to play together when we can, but as far as organizing and getting together every week, it hasn't really happened.
A lot of it falls on the squad leads as well. The administrative part to organize, with other squads or within your squad to balance the teams. It's a lot of the administrative stuff can be delegated, and if we just use a little bit of communication, I think we can have pretty good matches on the pub server and not have to worry about stacks.
So I guess for those of us that aren't, because I think there's a couple now, is it just kind of like a game of hold tight until the time comes where we decide on what we're going to do, or should we be reaching out to squads? Like, what should those that aren't in?
I think the first step in this, and let me know if you guys agree, disagree. I think the current squads need to discuss it among themselves if they would like to have administrative roles, right? If there's somebody that would like an administrative role, or if they would like us to, smash apart squads per se, and just, like I said, reset it, designate people that are interested in being squad leads. Again, not the squad lead role, but the actual leader of a infantry specialist, whatever squad. And then from there, we start to use this format, use this kind of recruitment formula, I guess is the right way to put it. Use this recruitment step by step guide on how to do it and start getting people in. I think, like I said, I think it ultimately starts with needing the groups to decide, are we going to stick together, and who's going to be the squad lead for this?
And if you're taking on these roles, you're signing up to take responsibility. I think that's something that we need to hold the people that step up accountable. I mean, you go as far as much effort he's put into this thing. So
yeah, if you're the squad lead, your group is, your responsibility. It's not Strikeout's responsibility or Ron Collins or Madcaps. It's your responsibility. Those guys are yours to take care of. And then when it's time for a match or whatever, you let the leads know who's ready, who's not, where you want slotted.
I think if we do this, there needs to be an idea of flexibility that a squad doesn't have to be necessarily permanent for argument's sake. Like, I know we're all good players. We're not here if we're bad at the game, but Don and Tomer are better than me at shooting people.
They're better than everybody else.
Yeah, they're
not just
really,
you.
like, and so and like if we have a weak link in the chain, like one of these squads is just not at the. I think the idea of dissolving it and sprinkling into others needs to be thought out ahead of time.
And I think that's kind of part of the initial idea from RonCon on why the squad dissolution can happen. I know the Blackjack. So full disclosure, I've discussed this with the Blackjacks for the last 2-ish days because I feel like, and this is not to not to sound like a dick, I think our squad does it the best on the team in terms of playing together consistently outside of BHB, obviously. And something that we discussed is kind of helping sponsor other squads. So sprinkling like Dupree and me in one squad, Keebs and somebody else in another, and helping squads get established and taking what we've done well as a squad in, different scheduling, that kind of stuff, and just being there to help you guys, start up these squads, keep things run the way that we want to do it, because like I said, we've been doing it for so long at this point. If that's something that you guys would want help with, those of you who'd want to be squad leads, let me know. And it's something that the Blackjacks, like I said, we've discussed and we've tried to, selfishly, we want to stick together. Obviously, we've been playing for so long at this point. But it's something that I think if you want us to help, if the squads dissolve and, for example, Alirin wants to start a squad and he said, hey, can you help me out? Like, I think that's something we could do as well. Like I said, this is not something that I have made a concrete decision about. This is something I want all of your guys' input on. And you just started a thread about this, so any thoughts that you have, go ahead and pop anything in there. This goes back to kind of the way the Outpost was formed and wanting everybody to have input, wanting it to be run by members, for members. I want us to, and I want you guys to have say in the way the teams run. I don't want it to be, Strikeout saying, hey, we need to do X, Y, and Z. Sunny G's, you're gone. Rainmakers, you're gone. Like, I want your guys' input. I want you guys to feel like you're having a say in what's going to happen. With that being said, I think a lot of good discussion happened here. I don't want to continue this discourse here. I would rather, type this out in the OPBHB chat so that way people that aren't part of the team can talk about it and discuss it. Any other than the squads, anything else that you guys feel like needs to be addressed with the team at all?
What's the future with SCVH?
Great question. I am not sure. SCVH, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm pretty sure looking at all the names in here, 90% of us know They are a South American clan that we've had some good relations with. There was some unfortunate drama in one of the Friday night fights between them and another team. I'm not going to name. And it caused some big issues internally with SCVH. My point of contact left SCVH. A couple others, I believe, have left as well. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with them. It's unfortunate, especially because I was hoping to have, to fill this gap in with the people that are dodging us, for example, HLL, PL Hellies, they fucking, every time they say they can scrim us, something happens, an excuse comes up, they're dodging us, so we'll see.
There's always core. They'd scrim every night if they wanted to, or if they could. But it's a hard match.
One we'd have to go in with
You don't
realistic
get better playing teams. You can
Yeah.
stream.
Let's
true.
save that
I think
for our
the new
first match
Hilo
after we
system-
split with the
To be
SPT.
honest, win or lose, it'd still be a fun game.
I think that new
Really-
Hilo
really
system
probably
will
teaches
be
a few thing or two.
a good way to find competition. We can look for
Also,
people
let
with
us
similar
know
score.
where
We
we
can see
stand.
what their historical scores are and make decisions based on that.
Well, I wonder if that's causing people to dodge because they don't want to lose to us and have it affect their score.
We can start sandbagging. Just
Well, I honestly think that if so far Strikeout's been targeting the teams that got knocked out of the qualifiers or went 0-3 in the main stage, they're probably pretty dejected. They don't want to play another team. I mean, I wouldn't. That's kind of what happened to MPA. We lost 3 or 4 in a row, and I was like, let's put a pause on scrims for a bit. We don't want to keep jumping into these and lose confidence. So I can't blame FLL for not wanting to return our calls.
That, and we're a little bit more established than most teams. We have a structure. We have good players. We're active. It may not be as easy for some of these other teams to organize and get together and make it happen. And the morale thing, seasonal. There are a lot of teams put a lot into it, and then they don't make it far. It's pretty demoralizing. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. And the reason we don't want to face core every day is because we are also trying to get some of our newer players, a little bit more experience, a little bit more, match reps in.
I mean, if you get a headshot, you'll eventually learn not to get headshot.
Balls.
Maybe.
I mean, I can set up and script the core if you guys want
That's
to.
not true.
Hey, we gotta at least try it once, right?
We also don't want to get our ass beat every day either. It's
Yeah, but when we do finally beat their ass, it's gonna be so fucking good.
No, they'll have so many excuses.
The craziest part is we actually almost did beat them on Hurricane.
We did.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We got a little overconfident and let it slip through our fingers. But man, we were so close.
We tasted the nectar and then wanted the whole glass.
Man, we gotta limit test somewhere, don't we?
Oh no, it was the thing where we almost 5-0'd them.
Oh shit.
We were,
Yeah.
from what I remember, you were 4-1, and then
We
something
were
happened.
4-1. We were 4-1 and setting up pressure to go 5-0 because they didn't have defenses set up, but we forgot to set up our own defenses. We didn't reestablish our 4th position, and then they retook it and then took our 3rd position, and we
We
lost
had a
3-2.
garrison issues too. We didn't have
Yeah,
garrisons where we needed them.
my death by 1,000 cuts was that match.
But yeah, I mean, scrims. We're gonna get more. It's gonna happen. We're just gotta keep trying.
So the thing of it is, for those of you who are new and not 100% sure why, even though we have 90 players, we're not getting more scrims in. The general basis for determining whether or not you have enough players for a roster is you generally want double the number of signups that you need. So if you want to do 50s, would want at least 100 players, so that way there's a backup to every single person on the roster. Because we all know life happens, and we all know that there's times where people can't make it. But that way we have players that we can count on. That if we're missing 4, well, we have 46 other players we can potentially count on to fill in that roster spot.
And that's another reason why each squad is doubled, so that assuming that one of those squads are picked to go play in the match, they can backfill if any of them can't make it from the other squad. They're all considered one squad.
If you're a competitive gamer who's been doing it a while, the squads are essentially mini teams that you manage. Like in 5v5, 7v7 situations, like in Counter Strike or whatever. You're managing these squads. You're learning who your players are, who you can count on, what positions they play, and then you plug it into the bigger team. And then I think it's a great idea all around. I'm all for it. That's just me saying it as me. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen, but I'm all for this. I think it's a great thing.
All right, sorry about that, guys. My mom's car broke down, and I lent her my car. She just brought it back. Yeah, I was listening. Agreed with everything you guys said, and it's a change. I forget who said it in the Blackjack chat, but think of the way that we have squads right now as kind of the dry run. We saw what worked, what didn't work, and I think that Ron Khan's proposal is a great way to address some of the things that didn't work while maintaining a lot of the things that did. Something I hope we can, adopt.
Can I say one thing, Strike?
Yep.
I know it's kind of circling back on that element of the squads, but I'm one of the newer comp members and also the newest ish Blackjack. Speaking about where it works and where it doesn't, like where it works is when you're a junior nerd and you have no idea what the hell you're doing, and these guys take you under their wing and you learn a shit ton about how the game is played and how the squads are meant to interact. And where it doesn't work is when it becomes a cool kids club where everybody wants to be in one of them. So I think as long as we look at it going forward as cultivating it across the board as a training experience and also a synergy and integration experience, I feel like that would play with every squad that we did, as long as we looked at it bottom to top with trying to build it in the ways that it works as opposed to the ways that it doesn't.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And these squads are made to increase the cohesion on our team, not make it some sort of elitist thing. It's I think BHB does an awesome job with it. I know they're not a squad, but every single time you see BHB on the server, they're playing together. It's not a question of, oh, okay, Joe's in this squad, Du's in that squad. No, they're all together, and you see how effective it is. And it's just something I think that we can, as a team, do better at. And again, Ron Khan, I really appreciate the proposal. Great idea. And if any of you guys, seriously, anyone has any ideas on how to increase, the skill of the team, do things better, please let me know. I'm always down to listen and help out and make your ideas a reality, whatever it is.
And even when you're in pubs, look for your other OP members. There's a lot of times that we're on and I look over and there's one OP guy in this squad, one OP guy down here, and one OP over here. You're not learning anything that way. Even just in the pubs, if you see another OP guy on, it doesn't matter if he's in your squad or not. Join with him. Play together, work together, get to know each other instead of just being spread out all over the place.
Hell yeah.
But I got a quick question. Are there leaders currently of the squads?
No.
There are many.
I mean,
yeah, there are.
Of the current squads, that is.
All right, well, can we get like markings for them or something? Because I have no idea.
Look in the Discord channel. Like 90% of the Discord channel, other than VHB, has a mark next to their name.
No, I think you mean something
Specifically the leader of the. Who's the leader? If I want to join a certain squad, I'll be like, who do I talk to?
What I'll do, and
that should be added to the website. One concise place.
Hold on, real quick. Let me just say something real quick. In the subdivision channel, I will just make a channel, like make a thread for each of the squads whenever it's decided, or in the enlistees channel, whichever it is, to denote that so you know who to contact, and I'll just keep that message pinned. And when I recruit people, both of you, Mad Happy and D-Tree, know, I send a little info packet I will just add that info packet. I'll add the current leads to each one of them when we make these changes.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, we do have pings. I think maybe we could utilize as well for each squad, and then maybe one for all the SLs. I
Yeah,
also
Darkon
had a
just
little
tested it.
section. Okay, perfect. I also have a little section in the proposal for that as well, as far as the recruitment process for new like recruits for squads and stuff like that, like how you can find one, how to make one, that kind of stuff.
When it becomes more established, I mean, you could even have like a whole directory of the structure, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
We could have a whole wiki that's like 6 pages deep.
Yeah. With approved and disapproved
With like
profile
borderline
pictures.
stolen valor.
Yeah. But yeah, really, really great discussion tonight, guys. Any other, I guess, final stuff that we want to talk about? I really appreciate. I know the meeting went longer than I wanted to, but I really think it was productive. And I think it's important that we hold these meetings, you know, once a month, every month and a half, to make sure we're all on the same page. If not, then let's get practice